Okay, so yesterday we stopped here and we discussed,
Yeah.
what is confident, what is being confident versus being arrogant. So now we move on. So our next thing is to understand a few things during interview, how we can grab some opportunity to explain to the interviewer about your strength, about your capabilities. See, as you see that, here I have written your biggest failure and how did you handle. So what I mean to say is, during the interview process, you have to be ready to grab the opportunity where you can explain this to your interviewer. What was your biggest failure in your life? It might be your, related to your personal life. It might be related to your professional life. It might be related to your studies. It might be related to your, anything, family conditions. What is the biggest failure you had, and how did you handle that? That includes love failure also. If there is love failure, and if you want to explain, this is how I overcame, so that is also absolutely fine. During interview, what people wants to see is, do you have some power to overcome the problem or not? Right? These things you will not get anywhere written into the book. Right? Whatever I'm telling you, you will not get, these kind of information in book, or in anywhere, if you go to the some classes also, until you are getting trained from the industry people, directly industry people who really conducts an interview. They will be able to tell you about all these steps, what you have to keep in mind when you go to the interview. So here, how will you grab this opportunity to explain about your about your failures, and how did you handle? How will you explain it to them? Do you have any idea, Surya? At what point of your interview you will grab that opportunity?
Sir, I will say about my friend's death, and I will say how I overcome that. My friend passed away few months back.
Can you please tell me again?
Hello, sir. One of my friends passed away few months back, sir.
2 months
I'll
back.
say that to them. Few months.
Okay.
April 2022.
Oh, so sorry. So you handled those situation and you came out of it and then concentrated on your studies, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you have to say, see, this will depict, how strong you are. So sometimes in your interview, if they are asking, what is your strength, right? If this is the question, you can explain this. You have that opportunity to explain these kind of things, how strong you are. If they're asking, why should we hire you, and what is your strength? So this kind of question, as soon as it comes, you can take that opportunity to explain your strong points, like, so, sir, why should you hire me? I just wanted to, because I'm a hard worker. I know how to handle the situation. I know, this is my core strength, to learn fast and to do the things, implement the things easily. That is my core strength. And I just wanted to correlate with one of the incident happened, around me. Something, happened with your friends, and after that everybody was, totally broken. How did you bring the team together? How did you bring your classmates together, and how did you overcome that scenario and started preparing again? All these things, if you explain, so the person who is listening to you will have some perception, okay, this guy is really strong mentally, he is very strong. Otherwise it is not very easy to come out of those kind of situation, right? So that will create an impact. Okay, this guy is strong, mentally strong. If he can handle that kind of situation, definitely he can handle other failures also. And it is very important to explain how did you handle that situation. Okay, that is very important. You have to, see, if you don't have all these things practiced, if you have not practiced before, you can practice it now, and if needed you can write it down, some points in your paper. Okay, this is what I need to tell them,
Yes.
this is what I need to tell them, this is what I need to tell them. Because in every interview this question will be asked. Definitely this question will be asked: what is your strength, or what is your key area where you see you can grow, and what is the biggest challenge you have ever faced in your life. Those kind of questions may come, so you need to be ready. And it is always a good practice to write down the questions on paper, irrespective of what you have. The printouts or internet, everything is available, but I recommend writing those question and answers in your notebook, so that you can refer it somewhere, sitting anywhere, you can just refer, okay, these are the points. And if you add those points, if you write those points, you will have some idea, okay, this kind of answer I need to be very descriptive. You will be given chance to talk, so that time you should not leave that opportunity. Just go ahead and talk more. That will never harm. Okay, and talk with the clarity.
Yes.
It's not that you are telling the right things. It should not be the case. When you are telling the right thing with low confidence, that will create a negative impact. If you are telling the right thing with right confidence, it will create a huge impact on the interviewer. Sometimes if you are telling wrong thing also with 100% confident, that will also create a positive impact on the interviewer. You got it? So
Yes,
so,
sir.
so in this process you have to be confident, and confident of answering the question, confident of accepting if you don't know the answer of any questions. You should be confident of saying that, okay sir, I don't know about this, I have no idea about it, I am extremely sorry sir, I cannot answer this question, I have no idea. If say for if he's asking, hey, do you know about cloud? Sometimes I'm just throwing a question. If he's asking something which you really do not know, that time it is 100% right to say that, no sir, I don't have any idea, I am extremely sorry sir, I cannot answer this. With all confidence, you have to say this, and that will give you the positive marks into the interview, right? Acceptance, to be
Yes, sir.
honest. Every time you should remember that you should be honest with the interviewers, because the person who is interviewing you has already been in IT experience for years, so he or she must be knowing about you, because you are going to be the fresher, right? And people who has already spent years in the IT industry, they know about freshers and how they perform, where they can be caught, where they will perform well, so they know everything. So it is always important to be honest with them. Be transparent, be honest while interview. Example, if they're asking you to write a program for Fibonacci series, and if they give you the pen and paper, will you be able to write? Right? You can write it down. Okay, this is the Fibonacci series, sir, and this is the answer. Take it. If they ask you to, okay, write some syntax of structure or polymorphism or something, you just show me. If you don't know, immediately tell them that, sir, I don't know about this, and I'm so sorry, I cannot answer this question, because I don't want to answer wrong. Rather, I choose not to answer. Okay, so this should be your answer.
Yes,
Sir, I don't want to answer it because I am not sure about it. I don't want to answer wrong, so I will skip this question. That's it. So it will create a huge positive impact on the interviewer. Okay. You have any question here?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm clear.
Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Now, as a IT industry people, what we expect from the fresher. You are going to be a fresher, right? When you enter into the company.
Yes, yes.
So what we look for. So this kind of information you will not get in book. I need this. This is a common information, but this is what I have written based on my experience. If interviewer like me would see first, I would like to see the confidence. What confidence you possess, what confidence you have. That is what I want to see in any of the candidate. See, confidence of saying no, that also creates a positive impact. For example, if I ask you, do you know something about Azure? If you say, no, sir, I don't know about Azure. So you can say in your interview, you can say that, no, sir, I'm so sorry, I don't know anything about Azure. Okay, what do you know? I know Python. Okay, Python, this is the question from Python, and you continue answering that. So this, you should be very confident of saying, okay, no, I don't know, or yes, I know, I can answer. So be confident in any of the situation, right? Second point is positive attitude. Okay, your positive attitude. Okay, so positive attitude is always important. You should not have any, some situation will be given to you. Okay, so a project is going on, and 5 people are, you guys are doing a project with 5 people team, and 2 people are not coming, or they withdrew, and they said that I will not be a part of this project. So you are left only 3 people, right, to complete that project within the timeline, and there is only 1 month remaining. How will you complete that? You can say that there are chances 5 people will do in 1 month. Now we have 1 month's time, but only 3 people. How will you handle that situation? And everybody knows that 3 people cannot complete this module within a month time. How will you answer that? And he also knows, who is asking the question, he also knows that cannot be done. That cannot be done. But he is asking you, he is putting you in that situation, and he wants to test your attitude. How your attitude is it positive or is it negative? What will you answer here? So you have to answer in a tactful way. I will explain that to you in the next session or so, how to answer these kind of questions, how you can create a good impact on interviewer by answering these kind of questions. So they just want to test your attitude, right? How good you are, projecting yourself. So I will explain that to you, how the questions will be, you should answer. Second thing is flexibility. Third point is flexibility. If you see flexibility, I would like to see people flexible if they have to work into the team, right? So interviewer will also ask you how flexible you are. Sometimes you need to, they will give you some examples. Sometimes you need to come into the night shift. Will you be okay? If you say, yes, I'm okay. Next day you have to come in morning shift. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. You have to work in development project. I am okay. You have to work on support project. I am okay. Being flexible is good, but in order, just to get a job and saying yes to everything, whatever he is asking, is not good. Be flexible, but within a limit. Everybody knows that, if somebody is working on night shift, night 9 p.m. to morning 6 a.m., then next day morning shift he cannot do, which starts 6 a.m. to another 8 hours. And if in this condition, if you say, yes, I can do that, then it is not flexibility. It is something like, saying yes to everything to get a job. That will not get you the job. Being flexible means you should be ready to work in any condition, but you have to let your interviewer know that, certain things a human being cannot do, so I also cannot do. I am flexible to take the next shift, but after completing one shift, I would like to take a rest. I would like to, relax so that I can be recharged for the next shift. You have to explain in that way, and there is no harm in explaining what you think in your mind. There is no harm, even though sometimes your explanation goes wrong in other direction or in some vague direction also, but that is also fine. Interviewer should know that, okay, he has some guts to explain that to me, and whatever I am asking him, he is not saying yes to everything just to get a job. You got it right? So flexibility
Yes,
is
sir.
one thing you need to have within you, flexibility. And how we will discuss more on every points whatever we are discussing. This is just the trailer I am giving you, but we'll have detailed discussion on each of the topics later.
Okay, okay.
So now another point is communication. Your communication should be very clear. Your voice should be very clear. It should not sound that you want to say something, but it is not coming out of your mouth. Communication means what? Communication means you should be able to make him understand what you want to say. You got it? It's not that,
Yes,
you
sir.
have to speak very fast. No, there is no need to speak very fast. But communication means you should be able to explain your thoughts, and that person should understand what you want to say. That is communication, right? So communication should be very clear, and you can make it very clear by practicing it. And we will practice some of the mock interviews, how to communicate and what to look for and how to look for, how to answer those questions, and how to keep your wordings so crisp and do not go out of the way while answering. So all these things we will discuss. So communication is also very important factor. Next one is cooperation. So cooperation is a fresher, whenever you enter into IT industry as a fresher, you will be given less responsibilities and more trainings. You will be given more trainings. Once the training is over, you will be given lots of responsibilities in projects. You have to do lots of work. So that time, this ability, cooperation, how cooperative you are, that one they will try to test while interview, how cooperative you are. They will put you into the situation, this something is not happening, your other teammates is struggling with that. How will you cooperate? You have to also complete your task within time, and you don't have any time to spend anywhere else. How will you cooperate? How will you make your colleagues feel better when you are around? How you means how much cooperative you are, how you are helping others. That also been seen in within the industry. That is very important factor. So next is goal oriented. What is goal oriented? You have to be very clear in your approach. It's not that yesterday you told me, right, my short-term goal is to get some experience in IT industry, right?
Yeah.
So you should never answer in that way. What is short-term goal and what is your long-term goal? So that gives me some impression that after getting some experience here, you will be switching it to some other company. That gave me that impression. So while answering, how to answer, I will tell you in the session where I will explain about that. How to answer, I will definitely tell you, but you should not say something like which gives impression to others that he is here for short-term goals or something. He wants to take some experience and go away. No, you have to be very specific, goal oriented. It means that you want to achieve this, you want to achieve certain things, and you are not sure whether your company you are going to be interviewed for is providing all those things or not. You don't know about it. Or if you know that company is not at all providing that thing, and if you say that I just want to grab this some of experience from here and go, this is my short-term goal. No, your goal is to become a expert in certain areas. And how will you become that? You don't need to reveal. You don't need to reveal that. You just tell your goal. Okay, this is my goal. I want to be expert in this area. I want to be expert in Python. If any problem comes in Python, I should be able to solve. This is my goal. Any project running on Python, I should be able to provide inputs on that one if there is a problem. That is my goal. I want to understand this, the entire infrastructure of cloud. I want to be, participate in design. This kind of goal you have to say that, that will depict, okay, you want to understand this stuff. Okay. And,
Okay.
and the last point is here is intelligence. You have to utilize your intelligence while sitting, before the interviewer. So how will you utilize your intelligence? How will you show that, you are intelligent? Sometimes we have to be little tactful. For example, if you have answered 5 questions correctly, okay, and he is also satisfied. 6th question also you have prepared well, and 6th question also that, okay, the answer perfectly well. So you are confident, right? That time during interview, you have to utilize your intelligence and say that you have to tell interviewer that, sir, I am really not sure about it, but sometimes before I really studied about this, and I would like to attempt to answer your question. So from my logical thinking, this, and background is, the answer, but you are trying to say something like, I will try to think about what I learned, and I will try to answer. I will attempt to answer your question. If it is wrong, please forgive me. If it is, if it is wrong, please forgive me. Or, let me try to attempt, because I have studied this somewhere, I remember. So when you start answering the right answer, so he will have impression that, okay, he read sometimes before and he's answering now. Okay, that's good. And he has answered correctly. But, back of the scene, we know that, right? You knew the answer and you are creating this scene just to, demonstrate that your mind is everywhere. Your intelligence, you are using your intelligence to gather the things from, what you read in past, and, and utilizing here in your interview. That kind of intelligence. And there are other aspects also, in, how you can, you can use your intelligence to, crack the interviews. Okay, we will discuss on all this, but these are the qualities we look for. Any any freshers should have these kind of qualities. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 out of 7. If you have 5 qualities also, I will take mark. Okay, he is confident, he's positive attitude, okay, flexibility good, communication good, he's cooperative, he's goal oriented, intelligence. Out of 7, if I see that, okay, 5 is good, 5 I have take mark, for me you're the best suit for the company, I will definitely take you in. That is what we look for. Even after technical interview or whatever, nowadays lots of companies do the technical interview, and during technical interview they will ask lots of questions to check your confidence, to your flexibility, and definitely your communication will be checked when you start speaking. As soon as you start speaking, first question will be, tell me about yourself. So that time they will check your 50% is interview is done in that question. So we will have to prepare well for that question. Okay. So next, and any question on this one?
No, sir. No, sir. It's
Okay.
clear.
Okay. If you have any question later on also, you can write it down and ask me later. So next one, your appearance. Your appearance matters. Okay. It is, see that appearance is smile, feel of confidence, body language and posture. Well dressed, firm handshake, haircut, well shaved. Everything should be there. When you enter into the room, okay, interview room, 50% of your interviewer just look at you, and 50% of impression he makes that time. Rest of the 50%, he checks your technical skills, or your confidence, your communication, and all depends on all these things. But as soon as you enter the room, that time he will mark it. Okay, this guy looks confident, or he doesn't look confident at all. So he will mark it. And the first impression is last impression. You mark this word, first impression is last impression. So whenever you are making your first impression, it should be impactful. Okay. And definitely when you go for interview, you have to go with a smile, right? It doesn't matter how long you have been waiting into the queue just to come to the interview room. Forget about everything. And when you enter into the room, you should be entering with your smiling face. Okay. And with all the confidence level should be high. Your confidence level should be, it will show from your body language. I will also tell you in person class how the body language should be, and how the posture should be, how you have to how you have to behave when you enter into the room, what we expect. That way you have to pick yourself. So well dressed and firm handshake, you should be having a good haircut. Though everything matters, but sometimes you see that person who is not well dressed, who's not having good haircut, not even having good presentation, he also cracks the interview. How he cracks the interview? Only one reason. I have also interviewed lots of people who never ever bother about wearing a good cloth while interview. But sometimes if you are having strong technical skills, they cannot reject you. What we feel is, if you have very strong technical skill, other part we can groom you. Other part, like dress sense, haircut, what culture we follow in MNCs, those can be you can be groomed on those points. If you have technical skill and you don't bother about being well dressed, that is also fine, but you have to show that skill during interview. Those are exceptional cases. It's not like you woke up from the bed and just went into the interview because you have lots of technical knowledge. No, it's not like that. But somewhat, when you go ahead and present yourself, you have to be well dressed. The best you can give, the best you have to give on that day. Okay, so this is something about appearance, and it is not required that you wear a tie. No, it is not required, not at all. A good formal dress is more than enough. Okay, and any other question?
So your voice breaking slightly. Your voice is breaking.
Now it is. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any question, Surya, on these topics?
No, sir. It's clear. Appearance, clear, sir.
Okay. So yeah, if you have any question, let me know. And next session we will have with questions, like what questions they may ask, and we will also shoot some questions you have to answer. Then after that we will go for MOOC interviews. I will try to arrange somebody who can take your interviews, and so that you get some experience, and that fear should come out. You should not have any fear while you go ahead and
Okay, okay,
face
sir.
your interviewer. So we will see in the next session. You just go through this, whatever we learned today, and we will discuss more on next session.